What is this that we've got to update of a personality in the world that has become popular on the show? Raygun, Rachel Gunn, apparently the illegitimate daughter of Johnny Gunn. What she is now rated the #1 breakdancer in the world by what governing body? Is this another fecal standards company in Zurich, Switzerland? What's going on here? You're keeping up with the pop culture news this week, aren't you?
I saw this article pop up in the New York Post the other day, and I was thinking maybe it was a joke article, but then I remembered the Post isn't exactly the Onion, and this was real. The Rachel Raygun Gunn drama.
Rachel Raygun Gunn.
The Rachel Raygun Gunn.
Now, wait a minute. Is that why she couldn't break dance? Because that's the girl that used to be on the Food Network, Rachel Ray?
No, it's not the same person. She's still out there, from what I understand. The Rachel Raygun Gunn drama has taken arguably its biggest twist yet after the Australian breakdancer returned home. The 37-year-old touched down in Sydney on the same day she was revealed as the new world #1 breaker.
What?
Gunn made worldwide headlines following her divisive performances during the Paris Olympics, which saw her finish second to last.
Wait, ahead of last?
Ahead of only one disqualified athlete.
So they never even got out there. They were disqualified. Okay, let's stop there. I know there may be more to this, but let's stop there for a second. Who was it divisive with? Didn't pretty much everybody agree that it sucked Dalmatian balls?
I guess maybe it was divisive with the people who felt bad for her because of the public ridicule? That could be the only thing, right? No one said, wow, this is great.
Yeah, no, there wasn't two different art critics looking at this thing and having the, polar opposite viewpoints. And the judges gave her a score of 0, didn't they? But anyway, go ahead.
Let me go back to this article. And as you were talking, I was pulling up more articles just to see what everyone's saying. Despite those displays, which resulted in her failing to register a single point, the World Dance Sport Federation released the latest rankings, with the Aussies sitting atop the list. Raygun was catapulted into the world #1 ranking thanks to the 1,000 points she claimed, winning the WDSF Oceania Championship, which booked her a spot in the Olympics. 4 Aussies find themselves inside the top 8 on the list, with Holly Molly, Hannah, and G-Clef.
Wait, Molly Holly?
Joining Raygun. No, Holly Molly, the opposite.
Well, there's some kind of gimmick infringement in there.
I guess actually it could be Holy Molly. Holy Molly.
Holy moly. But look here, back up a second. What competition did she win? Was it a Paralympic type of thing where she was the only able-bodied person?
Once again, she won 1,000 points in the World Dance Sport Federation's Oceania Championship, which used to be the All-Atlantic Championship, from what I understand.
Well, then they changed it to international, didn't they?
I think so. And that's where we are now.
Wait a minute, where is Oceania? Where is Oceania? Isn't that like in Iceland or something somewhere?
Well, here's an article. Actually, let's go to something maybe.
No. Answer my question. Google me some fucking Oceania. Where did this competition take place? Was this at an Arctic outpost?
Is a geographical region including Australasia, Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. Oceania is generally considered a continent, while Australia is regarded as an island or a continental landmass within that continent. Does that make any sense?
Well, is there a lot of breakdancers in Micronesia? Because how the fuck did this girl win any woman, I should say? She's nearly 40.
Australasia, is that what you say?
Australasia. George Barnes and Bill Dundee came to Tennessee in 1975 as the Australasian Tag Team Champions. But nevertheless, how did she win anything in front of anybody in public if anybody else was competing?
Why isn't New Guinea protesting this? But I have an article here, Jim.
They're being used as guinea pigs.
The New York Times, again, a little more prestigious than the New York Post. You would think they would have probably a more thorough recording. Let's see. The number one breaker in the world is Raygun? The Australian breaker who was mocked at the Olympics for her kangaroo hopping routine is now atop the official world rankings. Here's how it happened. By Victor Mather. The breaker known as Raygun did terribly at the Olympics, losing all three of her head-to-head battles, each by scores of 18-0. Can you just imagine getting to the Olympics and this is what happens?
I didn't know they could even give you 0 in the Olympics. It's never happened before, has it?
Her unusual routines also made her an unexpected face of the Paris Games and earned her mockery worldwide. But she did receive one accolade this week. Somehow, improbably, B-Girl Raygun, yes, the same Raygun who hopped like a kangaroo in her Olympic routines, is now the number one ranked women's breaker in the world. Goes into a little bit of her history here.
Now, I was just going to say, we've got to remember here that people were saying that somehow her husband was involved in judging at some point. There was a whole backstory on did they create their own dance federation or whatever. But whoa. I mean, at this point, does she have pictures of Denny Terrio with a goat or what? How the fuck is she doing this?
I'm looking down. I mean, there's a lot here, apparently. Fans around the world, many being exposed to breaking competition for the first time as the sport made its Olympic debut, were baffled, amused, and in some cases outraged. Raygun's total score of 0 points put her in last place amongst the 16 breakers in the main Olympic competition. In the latest world rankings, how could Raygun be in the number one spot?
Yeah.
After receiving a barrage of questions, the World Dance Sport Federation, which oversees the sport internationally, released a statement Tuesday explaining the seeming incongruity. The ranking is based on events over the past year, the Federation explained. During that time, the majority of breakers were focused on qualifying for the Olympics. But because they have limited fields, with a small number of competitors, Olympic qualifying events and the Olympics themselves do not count towards the world rankings. Therefore, Raygun's low-scoring performance at the Games did not hurt her ranking at all. Further complicating the rankings, there were hardly any events in the last 52 weeks that weren't Olympic qualifiers. The Federation said that no official breaking events were held in 2024 before the Olympics to, quote, allow athletes to focus solely on the last part of their Olympic qualification without the added pressure of additional ranking events. For Raygun, her only ranked competition in that time period was the Oceania Continental Championships in Sydney, October 2023. She won that event, which was hardly of international importance. Of the top 15 finishers, 13 were from Australia and 2 were from New Zealand. It was not a strong field. Raygun, the winner...
The sun was in their eyes.
Raygun, the winner, had finished 64th in the World Championship the month prior. Good
Lord.
In fact, the Oceania event caused a stir after Raygun's performance at the Olympics. The Australian Federation released a statement after the Games, saying to respond to speculation about her win at the event, contrary to circulating misinformation, Dr. Gunn's husband, Raygun's coach,
oh boy,
was not a member of the selection panel or judging committee. This would have constituted a conflict of interest. Dr. Gunn. Dr. Gunn is a lecturer at Macquarie University in Sydney, where her research interests include breaking, street dance, and hip-hop culture, and the politics of gender and gender performance.
The politics of dancing?
After the Olympics, she received a deluge of criticism, with her dancing style, and even her uniform, green track pants and a polo shirt, being mocked. Raygun seemed to be bouncing back.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Before you go any further here, I think now that we know that this is her background also, I think some of the American colleges should invite this fishy white Australian woman to speak on street culture and breakdancing at all the major American universities. I think that would be popular.
Yes.
For her. And then, boy, howdy, she could finish it off with a combination breakdancing and rap performance that I bet would leave them standing in the aisles.
See, this is why people complain about universities. Anyone could be a professor. You just got to go to school for a while and pay a bunch of money. But anyone could be a professor. Sometimes you can even create your own course. Raygun seems to be bouncing back from the hate, posting photos of herself smiling and laughing with Richard Branson and Boy George.
What the?
So she break right back into 1985.
She time traveled on us. At least we always go forward. We don't go back.
Noted breakdancing lover Boy George. What does he have to do with breakdancing? Different kind of music altogether. But that's the story. Raygun #1, apparently because no one else was competing, it seems like.
Well, something's going on there. And again, she gets out there. She looks like she's playing a game of solitaire twister. Whenever there's no performance to this. It's just awkward. It's like, oh, look at that poor woman. I wish medical science could help her out. But anyway, that's what they break dance like down in Sydney, apparently.
What's going on? What kind of scene? I mean, AEW is about to head down there, so we'll find out what kind of scene they got. I want to know who outdraws each other. AEW or the World Dance Sport Federation?
Wait a minute. I've got the natural goddamn program. What are they calling it over there? Grand Slam, AEW in Australia?
That's right.
The Grand Slam. What'd you just say Rachel Raygun's profession was?
She's a professor.
Well, she's a doctor, Dr. Gunn, right?
Dr. Gunn, that's right.
Dr. Raygun versus Dr. Britt Baker.
Oh, shit. There you go. You got to get her involved, you would think.
And it's not like that she'd be any worse than some of the other girls they put Britt Baker in a ring with. And there you go. My God, they can promote that all over the country, and they can draw the crowd from Micronesia.
We won't even get into the discussion of where did Britt Baker disappear to after the pay-per-view, because we haven't seen her again since. But you're maybe onto something. Tony needs publicity, and he has shown that he's willing to spend the money and do anything. He'll burn a house, kidnappings, anything that's unrealistic, he'll do. Why not just spend that money and hire the biggest pseudo-celebrities of the moment? Like, why not Huck to a Girl versus Raygun? Who cares that they can't work? Nobody can. Just put them in there and let them run around the ropes like idiots and laugh at them.
Well, no, I think you've got to mix your top talent in with the celebrities so they get the rub. I think they've got to have Huck to a Girl against one of the AEW girls. Maybe they have some kind of competition to figure out who should be the best one to face Huck to a Girl. But I think you got a natural doctor rivalry there with Baker. Or you could have MJF and Dr. Gunn against Britt Baker and one of the other guys, because then MJF and Dr. Gunn could both do the kangaroo kick.
What about a team of Raygun and Helico? Remember, he used to come out there and do his own dance. He's kind of doing his own thing. If you have two people dancing independent of each other, but somehow making their way to the ring, that may work. It could elevate him.
I'm afraid it almost might look like, well, here comes these poor people are epileptic. They're having some kind of seizure on the way to the ring. And then would you have a doctor manage them?
We're all inclusive.
See, because we're trying to help these people. They can't help these spastic moves. There was a woman.
Oh no, I don't even know where you're going.
There was a woman that worked at the goddamn deli counter at Kroger some years ago. I haven't seen her in a while. But she had some kind of, what is they call it, tardive dyskinesia on the fucking TV commercials, involuntary spasmic movements. And I didn't know this the first time that I saw her. I went in there and at the deli, I said, could I get a pound of the Black Forest ham thin slice, please? And I'm watching this woman behind the counter or behind the slicer, and she's got the thing and she's putting it up there. And all of a sudden she goes, oh, like that, and kind of let out a little, oh. But mostly just her arms went everywhere and her head shook. You can't say there's no video to this, but imagine me going, whoa. And then I thought she had almost dropped the thing or she'd cut her finger or whatever. But no, then she went right back to the task at hand. And I started counting. Because when she did it the second time, I said, how long is it? Because it was about every 45 seconds to a minute, she'd just do a fucking double take start. Whoa! And you'd think, my God, she's seen a robber coming in or something. And then she'd just go about her business. And I thought, why did they put her in the deli to operate the slicer? That just seems like that's a recipe for destruction.
There used to be a great coffee shop in Long Beach where I grew up called the Cozy Nook. For people in the East End, you can get every magazine there as a kid. You can get any comic book, magazine, baseball cards, bubble gum, and it was a diner. It was just tremendous. The guy who owned it was named Marv.
Marv Nook?
He would not be, sometimes he would go cook some stuff if the chef was off, but he would be like behind the little area where at the register, and he would have like the baseball cards near him and stuff. But he had an issue where he would just constantly go, ah! So it's like kind of weird that he would want to open a restaurant, you know, just trying to eat. He's like, ah! Like nonstop. So every now and then when the chef wasn't there, and it was always the same guy, when the chef wasn't there, he would have to go prepare something. He'd be cooking the food doing it. And you don't want to hear that. You'd just... What is that condition? I don't know, but it was so loud and it was so constant. But nice guy, and I miss that place. Great place.
Would that be a form of Tourette's, I wonder, or
Maybe.
some piss out my ass?
See, the first time you see it or hear it, you think he's clearing his throat. And then you're like, this man has a lot of phlegm. And then you're like, the phlegm ain't stopping. There's something else going on. It's like that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where they hire a chef with Tourette's, but he's a Frenchman, but he just curses out in English. Shit, motherfucker, goddamn! And then everyone starts doing it. Great episode.
Well, you know, that way he doesn't feel, like he's the center of attention there. The spotlight is on him. If everybody's doing it, it's somewhat normalized, and he doesn't have to feel like the odd duck.
Well, speaking of the odd duck, that was the Raygun story.